Sell your old, damaged or unwanted gold jewelry. Gold Bar, raising the bar in the gold industry. Better prices, safe, fast and professional service. Contact us at 082-881-8654, Conubia at goldbar.co.za.
There is a bit of a chill in the air, but all things warm right here at the Radisson Blue Hotel in Umhlanga. Deborah and I, my co-host, are attending the KZN International Business Association Black Tie Dinner and Award Ceremony. Let's go in.
The KZN International Business Association is made up of entrepreneurs, academics, medical and legal professionals, and many successful business owners. We will be learning more in a bit.
Joining me now is the former MP and founder of the KZN International Business Association, Mr. Omi Singh. Welcome to African Essence.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
KIBA was formed in 2019. What was your motivation and inspiration to start the association?
In 2019, I retired as a Member of Parliament after I was been in Parliament for 25 years. And the last position I held in Parliament was the Chairman of the Ethics Committee of National Parliament. When I retired in 2019, I thought, well, what now? I've got to do something and give back to my community. And what better way than try to grow the economy of my province and then to the larger South Africa so that we can create jobs and create a better economy in our country so that we all can live comfortably. That was the reason for wanting to start the organization called KwaZulu-Natal International Business Association, in short, KIBA.
Now, what is the main core and main function of KIBA? What are the objectives and how do you assist small business? Also, what does it require to join KIBA?
Requirement to join KIBA, first, let me answer the last question first, is there's no criteria. You could be an ordinary person who don't want to be with the bigger and larger commerce industry and wanting to be with the bigger organizations. They feel that KIBA is where you can talk to somebody one-on-one. And if you're a little business person who's got a little tuck shop, we could advise you on how to get a bank loan, for example, like this evening's networking dinner we had, where we had people talking on taxes. We had people talking on how to access grants from government so that they could develop their businesses. These are the kind of things we could introduce to the smaller businessmen and women in our communities so that we don't have to have everybody looking out there and trying to find a job. We could make them entrepreneurs and they could give jobs to other people. So we want to increase that because there's a lot of potential in South Africa that we need to tap into. And the only way to tap into is us, those who have gone past and are retired, we need to give back and try and teach the younger generation, the little businessman down the road, on how he or she could better become a bigger business.
Now, KIBA has took to the ground to help assist people who were affected by the floods. Tell us more about the assistance you provided.
Well, when the floods hit KwaZulu-Natal, especially the northern areas, KIBA then found that we had some finances in our kitties, and we realized that at that stage that we don't need to keep money in our bank account. We needed to now immediately, I'm saying immediately, go out there and see what the needs are. And we went and did this kind of interview with people, a kind of research with people and saw what the needs were. We just didn't go there and just plump them with some groceries. There were communities that didn't require groceries because they had a lot of groceries from different organizations. When we did a survey with them, we found out they needed detergents, they need brushes, they need toilet brushes, they need broom, they needed mops. They needed a box that they could put the groceries into because they had no shelving. And when the rain came, the plastic box had wheels and that could be moved around in the house. And we found that being very effective to store groceries so that we don't know the kind of flooding we've had in the last few weeks and months, what's going to hit us next. So in that way there, we asked people, what do you want? What do you need? Rather than we taking out there just grocery hamper packs to them, we did a survey of what your requirements are. And then we provided that what they require.
Now, how is KIBA working internationally to promote KZN business?
What we have is, we have an arm in KIBA where we start looking at traveling to other countries and also having other countries that visit South Africa, so that we could have this bilaterals with people across. There's a lot of items that we have here that we could export to other countries, and we also can import. So vice versa, KIBA has this ability to link people up in different countries.
Wow.
Because we know, with my experience being 25 years as a parliamentarian, I know the different consul generals, the different countries that require items that we have here. And we also know what items we need here that we can source from other countries. So businesses could work across the board. It doesn't have to be just importing and importing, we can export as well. So in that way there, we're creating jobs in our country and we are creating more wealth for the local people in KZN and in the larger South Africa.
Now, sir, how has the support that you have received thus far been? And for the communities that are keen on getting involved, what can they do?
The support has been tremendous. As you saw tonight, we had a business networking session, and the whole of this new hotel called Radisson Blue was full up. We couldn't put in an extra table into that hall of theirs. When we announced this networking dinner about 4 weeks ago, within 19 minutes, we sold half of the tables that would have taken into this hall. Within 19 minutes, when the WhatsApp message went across and we heard this going, clunk, clunk, the clunks where people are saying one table, one table, and one table. And then we have sold out half the tables. And the rest, by the next day, were sold out. So we had to sell out within 24 hours for this function here in Radisson Blu.
Wow. Well, thank you, sir. We have now reached the end. I am truly inspired, and I'm sure that everybody who is watching is inspired as well. Thank you for taking your time and joining African Essence.
Thank you very much for interviewing me, and thank you very much for letting people know what KIBA is all about. We are not an organization that has only people of a different race or a different color or creed. We are open to whoever wants to join us, as long as they want to be business people and want to grow the economy of this province. Because we have a multicultural, multiracial community, and we believe that we can work together with all. And we can work across the borders of South Africa to bring in business and also take business outside. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Honor and respect is everything, and recognizing someone's efforts in impacting other people's lives and contributing to building our economy, as well as making a meaningful difference, inspires us to be better human beings today. Giants who started small have been given this honor of recognition. Let's meet a few of the recipients.
Mr. Vivian Reddy is no stranger to African Essence. A very warm welcome, sir.
Absolutely great. It's always such a pleasure to see the African Essence crew and to be on your station. We love watching it, and you look absolutely gorgeous tonight.
Thank you, sir. Now, how do you feel about receiving your award this evening?
And I think, KIBA, a business association from KZN, has decided to honor me for my investments in KZN. And we've done a lot. We're putting in 4.5 billion rands into this town of eThekwini and creating something like about 3,500 permanent jobs. And during construction, we created 15,000 jobs. Wow. And this Radisson Blu hotel that we're sitting in is a majestic hotel. But it took a lot of obstacles. We had to overcome COVID, we had to overcome all the writing in KZN, the floods, and a whole lot of delays. But what we've done here, we've created absolutely world class. And from the time the Radisson's been open, it's been absolutely great occupancies, and our fantastic ballroom, which has become the venue. We're like 6 weeks old now, and we've had about 14 functions here. So the Radisson Blu is going to be the place, especially for big Indian weddings, and it was absolutely surprising the type of support we had. Like, this evening we're 100% full. There's lots of other functions happening, and we've got a great Fire Lake restaurant on the top. But what's the exciting thing about the project is that in a few months' time, in October, we're going to be opening our Oceans Mall. And this award that's been given to me, it's all about my investments in this province and creating jobs. So the mall is going to be absolutely great. You've got all the high-end brands like Gucci and Dolce & Gabbana and Burberry and Louis Vuitton's going to come. So we're creating our own Diamond Walk in KwaZulu-Natal, but we're not going to call it Diamond Walk. We're going to call it something else, and it's going to be an absolutely great mall with 14 great restaurants. Some like the Signature in Johannesburg, where most of the people know. We've got South Africa's first Michelin chef, who worked in New York and Paris, and Wandile Mabazu, he's opening the Creatives here. And it's just going to be, our piazza is going to be the focal point of entertainment in Amsterdam. So what we've done, if people look at this majestic building out here, they say we brought Dubai to Durban. And this award tonight and this function is absolutely wonderful to see so many people from the city of Durban, and we're looking forward to a great evening.
I can certainly see that this is a beautiful hotel. Now, we have seen you grow from receiving awards from communities to prestigious awards. Now, how do you stay grounded, sir?
How do I say? My wife, Surisha, keeps me grounded now. What is important in life is that no matter how much of money you have, no matter how famous, you've got to remember where you come from. You've got to be humble, because we're all not born into wealth and not born into fame. And as you come up in life, you've got to never ever forget where you came through. And some of my best friends are still people that I've known years ago. And in fact, you talk about awards. This week was quite a fascinating week. Earlier this week, I went to a function where Dr. MTS, of the Gift of the Givers, was the guest of honor, and he gave a great speech, and there was an auction, and they had a beautiful picture of MTS and with Mandela and other great South African icons, and I bid for it quite a bit, 100,000 rands. And just at the spur of the moment, when I looked at that painting and looked at him with all these icons, I just realized this painting actually belonged to him, and I gave him as a gift this week, and he was very excited. He sent me a beautiful note. But why I tell the story, life is all about giving. It's not about, no matter how wealthy you are, and if you do not give, you are a poor person. If you do not reach out to the less fortunate, you've got to learn to share, you've got to make others, and it's absolutely amazing. The act of giving brings you happiness, and when you make other people happy, you actually become happy, you become full of life, you enjoy life, and you have this great inner peace.
I believe those are such inspiring words. Now, KIBA has effectively changed people's lives. Now, what is your message to both KIBA and the people of KZN?
My message is to KIBA and KZN is that in business, you must never ever give up. You always got to persevere. You must make sure that no matter what happens, if one door is closed, you open another door. And KIBA is a wonderful networking organization. You've got to talk to people. That's how business is done. And I'm very excited about this KIBA event. And I believe it's got great leadership with Omi Singh and his team. And, it's helping, as you rightfully say, to uplift people, to create networks. People that would normally not have access to me, suddenly have access to me through KIBA. So that's what business organization is all about, networking, interconnectivity, and doing business with each other.
Now, thank you so much, sir, for joining us. I certainly won't take any much of your time. Thank you so much for joining.
No, thank you very much, and a wonderful day to all your viewers. And I always look forward to being on your wonderful TV station, and it's so good to see you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, a humanitarian multi-award winner, a man for the people who gives us respect and dignity through his efforts. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, how are you feeling about your award tonight?
Awards that I receive generally, to me, is a reflective of the team spirit of my staff and their efforts. I have a spiritual teacher who told me that whatever you do is done through you and not by you. So when the awards come, they're indicative of something more higher and bigger behind me, not myself.
Now, you're an extremely busy man carrying the pain of South Africa and the world. How do you cope knowing that even though you are selfless, there's still underlying pressure because there's people like us that look up to you in a time of crisis?
It's easy. You have to be realistic. You need to understand that you can't help everybody. That's a fact of life. You can't save everybody, you can't help everybody, but you can make a difference to somebody. And that keeps us focused. Even when you go to a disaster, for example, we know we can't save the whole country. We got a policy, we will save people in one street only. And if we can go beyond that street, that's a blessing. But from the outset, we set goals that are reachable, attainable, and practical. And with knowing in mind that you can't help everybody. But as long as you carry on trying to help someone, you've made a difference.
Now, Gift of the Givers is the largest disaster recovery and humanitarian aid organization on the African continent. How were you still able to provide aid?
We specialists in disaster. When situations like that arise, calmness, the right temperament, being decisive in what you do is very critical. We work in war zones, we work in earthquakes, we work in areas of great danger and difficulty. So when a disaster comes, we have to be ready to respond. So the floods and the looting, within hours, we were ready to step into the field within various areas. Within 48 hours, in the looting areas, we started sending trucks of aid in to calm the people down. They were hungry, they were thirsty. We took items in for them, and people were very generous and calmed down, and everybody actually helped to distribute the items. But there were too many areas to reach too quickly. So our partners on the ground, we just delivered stuff to them. They packed it and took it across. We're 30 years in the business, so we have a huge network of people that we can trust and we work with. In terms of the flooding, 11th April, when the floods hit in a big way, by that night already, we were getting calls from people who were wanting to help. Not people who wanted assistance, but people wanting to help. 5 o'clock on 12th April in the morning, our teams were already on the way to Tongaat. They started off there. And the reason why we went there is we got a call to say that you were here last week, you gave food parcels to the community here, and one of the people in that community, a granny, and 3 of the grandchildren were washed away in the car. And they all 4 of them passed on. So we started there. And within hours, we were starting to get feedback from the whole of KZN, along the coast, in the central area, Amzinto, Port Shepstone, Isipingo, Chatsworth, Phoenix, Lamasi, Tongaat, Verulam, Amauti, Inanda, Kwamashu, and all the various areas. And by that evening, we already knew what to respond to anyway.
Now, sir, what is your message to the people of KZN as we rebuild?
We are one nation. We need to look at each other, to hold hands, and to build this country. We can't let the issues of the past divide us or separate us. And I want to make a clear message. Anybody who tries to bring in racism, conflict, or disorder is not a patriot, is a traitor and an anti-patriot. South Africans, or any person who wants to build the country, wants to foster good relations, wants to help each other, help one another, those are the patriots of the country. We all got to do this together. Government, corporates, religious leaders, NGOs, tribal leaders, the ordinary people. We have to hold each other's hand and go forward. There's no other way to build this country. Retired teachers, we need you back. Retired doctors, we need you back. Retired skilled people with experience, we need you back. We need to upskill the country with people who have experience selflessly for the future of our generation, the next generation, and the generations to come. We've had enough pain, we have enough hardship, we've had enough difficulty. We've had the looting, we've had COVID, we had floods, we had the pre-94 era. We're tired of corruption and discord. We want to go forward, and there's a lot of people in this country who need a lot of help, and we have to do this together.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you, sir, for joining us. It has been an honor.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Mr. Ashok Sunurain, a well-established businessman with a footprint worldwide. Welcome and thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you. Good evening.
Now, how are you feeling about your award on this spectacular evening?
I'm elated to receive an award. It is an assurance that we are moving in the right direction, and I want to thank KIBA for acknowledging me this evening.
KZN has been hit hard from the recent disasters. How can we repair?
We need to pull together as a community, as a region, as a nation, and to have the commitment of positivity and the confidence that we can overcome any and all disasters.
How can business show support for KIBA?
KIBA is a network organization. Business must join KIBA to ensure that there is a network and sharing of ideas. The more we share our ideas in business, it supports all medium and small business together as a united force to create employment and to create business opportunities.
Thank you so much for that information. Now, lastly, sir, KZN has been through a lot with the flooding, the looting, all through a pandemic. How does this make you feel, and what is your word of encouragement to the people of KZN?
In life, what does not kill you makes you stronger. We have been through the pandemic, through the floods and the unrest, and we need to come together as a community, as a nation, to fight and to overcome any challenges so that we can then embrace the new day with the vigor and the energy of life.
I agree 100%. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. It has been an honor and a privilege.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we chat to the founder of the International Sivananda Yoga Association, a multi-award-winning humanitarian and philanthropist, Mr. Ishwar Ramlachman Mabeka Zulu.
Welcome, sir. How do you feel about your award of recognition this evening?
Good evening. I'm very humbled to be here at the KIBA Business Networking event and to receive such an honor. We're very humbled, and yes, we offer all this to our Divine Masters because everything happens by His will.
Certainly. Now, KIBA has been active in trying to restore KZN. How can the community assist?
Well, I must say, looking at KIBA and the role that KIBA plays in society, we need much more organizations such as KIBA, because unless we tend to move into communities and reach grassroots levels and encourage our youth especially to rise and become business entrepreneurs, then only we'll be able to have an equal society. If we look back, we are one of the highest when it comes to unemployment in our country, and especially amongst the youth. And KIBA is playing a major role to eradicate such problems in society. And we urge KIBA to reach out to the masses and not only focus on developed business, go and encourage those upcoming businessmen and give them some skills so that they could prosper and get the entire community of Africa. Because unless we do that, then only we'll be able to say that we are a free country.
Now, what is your message to the people of KZN as we rebuild our lives?
Well, my message is very clear that we all need to unite. We need to stand together, and we need to understand that the plight of the rural communities, especially in particular, are really having tough times as we see the global pandemic hit our country. And my message is that let us all unite, let us stand together and be focused to uplift one another. Unless we uplift one another, then only we'll be able to say that yes, we have achieved being a free country in South Africa. If not, we will always have the rich and we'll have the poor. And when it comes to the poor, they will continuously have challenges in life, and this will go on generations and generations to come, so that no one will be able to look at their plight. So yes, KIBA, the entire community must unite, and let us build a nation going forward.
Unity is important. Well, we have now reached the end. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. It has been an honor.
Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity.
Professor Rajan Pillay, CEO of Garuda Finance. Welcome and thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
What is the role of Garuda Finance?
We assist people with credible projects, viable projects, to raise capital, undertake projects, create jobs, and create economic opportunities.
How has the Garuda Capital supported the KZN International Business Association?
We assist them in various levels, at a knowledge and skills kind of level, in terms of specialist topics and corporate finance assistance. And also where members are looking for assistance in terms of bringing new projects into the economy, we assist them with their capital requirements, It's not so simple to go to a bank these days and get money. We're Garuda Capital, we're financial intermediaries, and we're able to speak the language of what banks want, look at what their exposure are, and mitigate those risks. So we're able to get more entrepreneurs and more business people into business than they would be able to on their own.
Now, sir, the KZN economy has suffered a huge blow due to recent disasters. Now, how can we repair and rebuild financially?
Well, it's a very topical question. Number one, this damage has happened since over the last, let's call it a year, through various reasons, and then we had the floods at the tail end of it, which caused a lot of infrastructural damage. Now, government and the Ministry of Finance had approved fairly substantial rescue packages and financial packages to conduct the repairs. But those repairs and those improvements haven't been effected even till now because the money hasn't been dispersed. So if the decision-making process was more streamlined and more speedy, approvals would have been given for projects to repair those damages in the various towns, etc. But unfortunately, people are crying, residents are crying, businesses are crying that the funds which are there have not been spent for the purposes that they've been allocated. So from the KZN Growth Coalition to the various chambers to the business people, they're all saying, please speed this thing up. Help is needed and was needed some time back. So help us to release those funds to effect the improvements, to effect the repairs, and to get things back onto a normal position again.
How can we as a nation work towards financial stability? We have seen people lose jobs and a lot of businesses have shut down.
Yeah, financial stability is basically a two-pronged issue. One is what we call private sector participation, and the other one is government or public sector participation. We find that in South Africa, private sector is speedy at making investment decisions, they're speedy at making investments, allocating investments, because there's a profit motive behind it. Unfortunately, at the government level and the public sector level, the decision making is much slower. The policy, often there are policy issues which mean that critical economic decisions are not taken in time. And this could be because of an interministerial or an interdepartmental problem. But at the public policy level, at the public strategy level, is where we need speedier and better interventions. So if that decision making could be smoother, more cohesive, and more timely, then you will find that the private sector and the public sector work in tandem and they complement each other, which is not the case at the moment.
Well, we have now reached the end, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been an honor.
Oh, thank you, Morgan. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's wonderful being here at this event of the KwaZulu International Business Association, short form being KIBA. This is KwaZulu-Natal. After the pandemic, after the unrest and the floods, this is the resilience of KZN business and coming together to network, to build another strong foundation to contribute to our provincial economy and to the country as such. My message to all of the viewers of Glow TV, there is hope. As we are resilient and as we are strong and as we are repositioning ourselves, I'm saying that there is a possibility for a total recovery
for us to return to the quality of life of what KwaZulu-Natal is known for. A warm province where the province itself has produced such luminaries and a quality of life second to none. And we are the second largest economy in South Africa, and we're going to restore ourselves to our former glory.
Hi, I'm Ian Naidu. Thank you to KIBA for providing us with this platform, just to network with like-minded individuals and just getting each other's takes and thoughts on how we can improve each other's lives. To Glow TV, thank you for bringing this together and for putting us all in the same room and for just making this an evening for us to be proud of and to network with one another, and we truly appreciate the time we can spend together. We thank you for that. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Kevin Joseph, and I was the official photographer to our late former President Nelson Mandela. Tonight I'm at the KIBA Gala event here at the Radisson Blue Hotel in Umhlanga. It's been a wonderful evening, and my message to all the viewers: keep on watching Glow TV. It's an absolutely great TV station, and reach for the stars. My message to KIBA is you guys are doing a fantastic job, and you must keep up the good work with the philanthropy and giving to all those that need it most. And all the best for the evening. And to the viewers, keep watching. Thank you.
Businesses and their communities might be at odds with one another for various issues such as employment, environmental protection, and more.
However, all communities and businesses need each other to survive. This interdependent relationship creates a multitude of reasons as to why they should get along. So support local, help businesses help you. Organizations like KIBA are certainly encouraging this.
Thank you for watching, and do join us next week again for another episode on African Essence. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, The African Essence Television Show. Goodbye and God bless. African Essence would like to extend a heartfelt note of gratitude to Naveen Lee of Navlee Media for creating beautiful images that were taken at our recent presenter workshop.
ARCA Durban provides an exclusive rehab treatment for alcoholism and drug addiction. The only rehab in South Africa that offers a medical detox treatment. We offer a superior, evidence-based and medically cutting-edge approach to the treatment of addiction. If you have been frustrated by repeated failures at rehab recovery or are unaware that there are proven anti-craving medications that can significantly improve treatment outcomes, give us a confidential call to learn more about ARCA Durban's rehab program. Contact ARCA Durban on 07827229111 24 hours or call our office number 031-261-5515 and our Johannesburg number on 0622770911. Office number 011-656-0705.
Platinum Funeral Group was founded by Sharika Suku Govender, an award-winning philanthropist who understands that when losing a loved one, what matters most is guidance and understanding. Sharika and her team have pledged to honor the dignity of those entrusted to their care and respect the wishes of every family they serve. Platinum Funeral Group, based in Newlands, Durban, serves with integrity and act in your best interest. Join our dynamic group to give you and your loved ones comfort and dignity from as little as 25 Rand per month. You can move your existing policy over, no waiting period, should you wish to be a part of the Platinum family. All the funeral services will have free live streaming as a special offer for this advert. contact us via WhatsApp on 084-241-9075 or visit www.platinumfuneralgroup.co.za for more information. Platinum Funeral Group, helping hands, healing hearts.